Homosexuality. Now, I completely understand that this is a very sensitive subject for a lot of people, and so I'm going to do my best by being sensitive to those it may affect, and also at the same time be very honest about what Mormons believe about homosexuality. And I should start out by saying that Mormons believe that any sexual relationship outside of the bonds of marriage, regardless of if you're heterosexual or homosexual, is considered a sin that can lead to eternal consequences that are not so good. And so that being the case, no matter if you're homosexual or heterosexual, we don't have sex outside of marriage. Now, furthermore, Mormons also believe that God is the being who created the definition of marriage. And when he did that, he created it to be between a man and a woman. And the first married couple, according to Mormons, is actually Adam and Eve. And they were married by God. And because God created the definition of marriage, Mormons believe that it is not our right as people to change what God defined. That's why Mormons are so pro-traditional marriage, and I totally understand if you don't agree with that, but that really is the case and the truth about what Mormons believe regarding gay marriage. Now, is it possible then to be both gay and Mormon? Technically, yes, it is possible, but it is a little tricky. Contrary to popular belief, Mormons do not believe that same-gender attraction in itself is a sin. In fact, a lot of Mormons will acknowledge that feeling those feelings is probably not a choice either. But what you do with those feelings is a choice, and that's where the sin can come into play. So here's the rub. This means that any gay Mormon, if they want to remain Mormon, has to choose to either live a celibate life or marry somebody of the opposite gender. Now, that's not always recommended for everybody, and it sounds kind of crazy, but I have personal friends who are in that situation and living very happy lives. So it may not be a sexual attraction so much at the beginning, but they argue that sexual attraction is only one part of us. But those are the two options for a gay Mormon, so you can see how it can be a very difficult life, but it is possible and people choose it. Now, that leads to the question, why in the world would a gay Mormon remain Mormon? Are they just brainwashed? Well, you may think so, but here's where the eternal perspective that Mormons have comes into play. Mormons believe that this earth life is just a tiny speck in the eternal timeline, and that our eternal existence after this life, how glorious it is, will depend on our choices in this life. And so gay Mormons who choose to remain celibate or marry somebody of the opposite gender if they so choose, are doing so because they believe that they will be rewarded in the next life and it'll be totally worth it. And it's not worth the sacrifice of indulging in those passions in this life because it will have severe consequences in the next life. Once again, you don't have to agree, but that is what Mormons believe. And I should throw in there that Mormons are also taught not to condemn or hate other people, regardless of their beliefs. How lame would it be if we hated everybody we didn't agree with? For instance, Mormons don't agree with drinking alcohol, but does that mean we should condemn and hate every person who drinks alcohol? Clearly not. If that were the case, then I would probably have very few friends here in the great state of California. Yes, I even have some gay friends who drink alcohol. Who cares? We should love and we should care for each other, regardless of our beliefs. Now, Mormon doctrine is not going to change, I'll tell you that. But we can change our perspectives and our care for each other, whether we're gay or Mormon or not, or of different faith, or don't even care about any of this stuff. I do want to say that some of my very closest friends in the whole wide world are gay. They're not Mormon. Some of them are married to their partners and they have good relationships, and they know my beliefs and I know their beliefs, and we just don't let that get in the way. We're good friends, we care about each other, even if we don't agree. We can live in this gumdrop, fluffy, happy world filled with unicorns and rainbows and, okay, maybe not. Well, rainbows, yeah. In fact, speaking of rainbows, who better to bring on board for this topic, for this video, than my own brother, who is a gay Mormon who has chosen a celibate life. His name is Jimmy. You may have seen his YouTube video. It went viral just as soon as it was published, called A Gay Mormon Coming Out. And so some people have had some follow-up questions, so we're going to talk about those a little bit. He's in another state, so I'm going to try and beam him in. live. He's gonna be on in front of his green screen, and I'm gonna try and get him to like appear here. And the lighting's gonna be totally off, so I'm so sorry. Hi, Dave!
Hi, Jolie.
Yay, I'm glad this is kind of working. I like this experiment. So obviously I'm making a video for my channel, and a lot of people have seen your video and they're curious and they want to ask a few questions. First of all, what is it going to be like as a gay Mormon to live a celibate life?
Well, I mean, no one wants to remain celibate, right? However, I personally believe that that's what God expects of me. And if he expects that of me, he's definitely going to provide a way. So I'm willing to do it.
So, if you think God expects that of you, do you think that you're brainwashed by the church? A lot of people are saying that on your channel.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not brainwashed by the church. If I weren't a member of the church myself, I might be thinking similar thoughts. But the fact is the Mormon church, the way it goes is we're given information regarding God and doctrine of the church, and then we're told to go and take it up with God ourselves through prayer and studying of the scriptures, and then we can find out for ourselves if we believe it or not.
I agree, obviously, because I'm Mormon. But a lot of people are really confused by that, and they're saying that your video is depressing.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know what you're supposed to say to that.
People think it's depressing. In fact, people who tell me online that they genuinely hope that I'll leave the church and I'll be able to find a partner and get married and stuff, like, that does mean a lot to me. I'm not lying. Because they're genuinely concerned for my well-being, for me not being lonely. We definitely have different perspectives on life because of my faith and their faith or lack thereof. And so it makes complete sense to me why they would say that.
Yeah, cool. I'm celibate too. Thanks, James. I'll see you soon.
Alright, bye. Wait, I look stupid. I'm like, bye.
Yay! I'm so glad that worked, and I'm totally losing my light, so it was just in the nick of time. But you heard it from the Mormons next door.